Hi, this is Suzanne in Ohio. I have a small journal flip to share with you today. This is a little journal I made to try to use up the rest of my seasonal items, and I just simply called it Winter. It's a simple journal, but it is loaded. And I'll take this autofocus off. Hope that works. So the journal is one signature, but it's really loaded up with pockets and things. The closure is a piece of batik fabric with snowflakes on it. Let me open it up here, and it's just simply strung through the binding over on the side. You can take it completely off if you want to, but let me back out here just a little bit. The cover I made out of it's a piece of Marjolaine Bastien artwork, but it was a tote bag. So it had a beautiful finish on the paper, and I used one side of the tote bag to make the cover. It's embellished on the front a little bit with some of my printouts, a little collage work, and there's the name, Winter Journal. So when you open it up, I lined the inside of the paper with craft paper to give it some strength. I also strengthened along the edge so that the corners won't roll in, even though it's kind of soft. Some of my papers are coffee dyed, some are printed, some are wallpaper, like this is a piece of wallpaper. Prints of old textiles. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know I have lots of prints of old textiles. But this is the first time that I used any kind of images from a kit. I did get a download of a kit from R.T. Mays and someone else, and I'm sorry I can't remember right this second, but I'll put it in the information below. So the first thing tucked in this side corner is a little tablet, so to speak. It's got some pages, and these are my compilation pages, which I made some time ago, and I just keep them on hand and handy for such things as this, so I don't have to stop and recreate that every single time I want to put something together. So it's kind of a generic design. It's I copied it off by using a piece of wadded up wax paper. So when it prints off with these little, I'm not sure you can see them, but the little indications, and it makes it look like icy paper. So there's the little notebook, two little pieces of ephemera stuck in there as a tuck spot, and then another print of a vintage textile. So that's what I stuck in the inside flap. This is a free-floating pocket, an image made with book pages, and we all know Patricia Viramontes has some of the greatest ideas for book page pockets. So I probably got this from her. I made this last year and just now using it up. A beautiful piece of textile here with some glitter on it. So that's just a free-floating pocket. Now there's a lot of images in here from my Ideals books. I've said before I had a collection of over 200 Ideals books I've collected since I was 2 years old, and even during the years I didn't subscribe to it, I would buy them at the thrift store. My thrift store sells them for about a quarter or 50 cents a piece. So I've even got some duplicates because the images in them were great. The older ones, the paper is frail and brittle, but the newer ones, the paper works quite well. So this was a print from an Ideals book, and the other half of it is in the back. So let's leaf through here and see if you can get some ideas for yourself. This formed a little pocket and a greeting card. I used a greeting card to make a little booklet, and it just has found papers and printed images and scraps of paper in it. Just all kinds of interesting things, but plenty of room to write. Okay, a fabric pocket on this file folder piece right here, and I put vintage or a print of one of my fabric textiles, backed it with coffee stain paper. I think I'm going to prop this journal up a little bit. I can see I'm not quite at the right angle. The same fabric on this pocket is what's on the tie. It's a batik snowflake print. When you turn it over, there's another pocket made with an Ideals print and another booklet. And again, an Ideals print. I mean, I didn't copy that. That's the original paper. So this little booklet has pockets on the back and front flap. I didn't put something on in every single space, but now I can see that, see there? That needs a piece of washi tape. Like I said, some of those papers are brittle. I'll fix that. But this has just an assortment of papers in here. Plenty of space to write. And again, I'll put the name of where I got some of these printouts in the information below. An Ideals print. Let's unsnap this. I'm sorry I don't have any of those cute little fancy paper clips, so I'm just using these little bullnose clips. But here's a flip out, an Ideals print attached on there with fabric, and a free-floating envelope that I made. And then one of those nice prints that might be Artie Mae's. I am not sure, but I will list it all below. There's one of those icy pages. I don't know if you can really see how it comes out, but it's a nice technique. This is a little double envelope pocket, slide pocket, and I created it in such a way you've got a tuck spot here, a pocket here, and each end is a pocket. So, lots of little fun things in there. Let's see what that was. Oh, one of those. Okay, and you can clip it on any page you want and move it around. This, of course, is an Ideals print, and all these little artworks. Ideals has a wonderful selection of hand-drawn stuff in there. So I made a sloppy tag, I call it. Just backed it with coffee-dyed paper and put it on there. This is another compilation page I made. If you can see it, I'm not sure that you can. I'm so sorry. But this was an interesting find. I found a blank, unused wedding book at the thrift store. You know, one of those books where you keep track of everything from your engagement all the way through to the wedding and the gifts. And every page had flowers embossed or some kind of design embossed on it. So I tore them the way I wanted them, inked them, and then that was my master copy for printing off these compilation pages. Here's some more Ideals types of things. Just real earthy, not fluffy, foo-foo-y, but earthy and cute. Piece of wallpaper on the back there, that bear. This was a greeting card. Isn't that charming? Just couldn't bear to throw it away and wanted to use it. And the centerfold, of course, is an Ideals print. On this side, here's just a flap tuck. You can open it up. And in here, I put this envelope that I made. So let's take this out. The envelope is one of my polymer dyed papers, and I embellished it with some snowflakes and different things that I found on a greeting card. So that forms a big tuck spot, and on the inside, a nice little tag. I have to remember which way my camera is oriented. So sorry. Okay, so put these little images back in the tuck spot. And again, I downloaded these from one of the artists on Etsy. I'll let you know that later. Let's put that back before I forget where it goes. On this side, a pocket and a tag that I created with some of the leftover images from that tote bag, and just put a little collage on there. And if you can see this right here, this is so unique. I'm going to do more of this. It was a piece of vellum. I put it through the embosser, you know, with an embossing folder, and put some texture on it, and then put distress ink on it. And you can still see through it, so it makes a wonderful layering element. So I just love that, how that came out. Another greeting card. Of course, I think it's a Courier Knives. Yes, it is. Oh, I kept the name. Yeah, Courier Knives. And it's just called Wintertime. So that makes a nice writing surface. Little tuck spot right there. And then another little, I don't know what you call these. I don't know if they have a name. But I wanted to use my image without ruining it, cutting it up. So I created this long flip over, and then there's one of my compilation pages that has all kinds of, it has the writing lines already on it. And that was out of that wedding book. So I layered it with music. I distressed it before and then scanned it, made an image, and now all I have to do is print it out each and every time. And I love that because I can print it on whatever kind of paper I want. Some things require a thinner paper depending on what you're going to do with it, and others require thicker. I printed this one on a heavier weight. I wanted it to have some substance. An Ideals print right there. These pages are good for photo mats if you don't care for the image that's on them. Here's a little tuck spot made out of an Ideals image. And this was an original piece of artwork that I had purchased at a craft show. It's a print of the girl's original artwork. This was way back in the day. So I finally took that darn thing out of the frame and I cut it up. I know, hold your breath. But here's a little writing area. So that forms a tiny little booklet. And then let's see what's here. Oh, another envelope here. So I made this envelope. This image was so nice, I couldn't bear to cut it up. It's a copy, Ideals printed it as a copy, but this is the original here, of an old etching, printed in green. Total winter scene. You know, you have to think early 1900s or something. So I thought, well, that'd make a nice little just hideaway tuck spot. So I collaged these elements here and made it so you can just fold the envelope up. And some winter images here. A Tim Holtz stamp. I don't have very many things like stamps and stencils and everything else, but I just found this when I went to Texas, and my daughter-in-law took me to a Tuesday morning, which I'm just too lazy to get in the car and drive to one where I'm at. So I got a couple sets of his stamps. The other part of the Ideals image, and this just writing. But look at these nice hand-drawn images from Ideals. They're just too nice, especially if you like vintage and days of yesteryear and all that. I did forget to say there's about 3 or 4 little bead charms on this book where I could find a place to put them. This pocket holds, I put 2, there's the other half of that original drawing I cut up, and a greeting card that was just so appropriate. And then on this side, a little tuck spot. So those go in that cloth pocket there. On this pocket, flips open, just a simple writing, and you can add anything else you want to that. Here's the back of that drawing. By the way, that was an original oil painting. I think it was called Winter in Philadelphia. And a vintage textile that I have, and another textile. Not really winter, but it goes well. So there you have the winter journal. And then I'm sending this little pin. It's just too cute. And the snowman's holding a love heart and a Christmas tree. So I'm sending that with the journal. I'll pin it on the closure once we close that up. Okay, so there's my winter journal. I hope you enjoyed that and got some ideas. As always, if you have any questions, get back to me. I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. And to all my subscribers, which aren't very many yet because I'm still so new, but thank you, thank you, thank you, and I hope you enjoy.